Hello, I'm Chris Kimball, and this is my very unprofessional video, but I had some questions about the North kit that I reconditioned and how it sounds. And before I get to the North kit, I thought I would show you the other kit I've got here at home in my little drum studio. Part of it is because I want you to see that the drum studio can actually be neat and organized, because in a minute you'll see the North kit out in the garage, and the garage is a disaster. So if you just want to look at the North kit, you can just fast forward through this part. But I thought it would be instructive to hear the double-headed sound with a little more tone versus the dry North sound. The North definitely has a dry 70s kind of a sound. Now, if you're in a studio, obviously you want a little bit of a deader sound most of the time to get rid of some of the overtones. If you're playing live, though, having overtones actually works well, because out in the audience, if it's not mic'd, the drums will project more and the overtones kind of disappear, but you're a much better tone of the drum in the audience without the muffling. If you're going to be mic'd, however, then the muffling makes sense, because the sound engineer can do whatever he wants with the sound. Now what I do is I tune my drums to individual notes, and you'll hear them as I spin around here and hit them. You'll hear little individual notes here. So you can hear those individual notes, and the ring is there, although I have the Aquarian little sound rings, these plastic things, which actually help get rid of some of the overtones, and I think they make the drums sound a lot better in this environment. For example, the floor tom, that's what it sounds like without it. You put it on, suddenly, in my opinion, a nicer tone. So blend together. And then the snare drum, again, a dead sound with that ring on it. This, by the way, is a 1940s round badge Schlingerland, which I reconditioned. I'll show you that in a second. But without the ring, more of a jazz kind of a sound. And that's a pretty good sound. I actually kind of like that. But in the studio with the ring on it, totally different sound. Anyway, the bass drum is okay. I've never really liked the tone of this bass drum that much. I think the head, if it were more elasticy, might sound better. Anyway, so the sound, when you put it all together, sounds pretty good. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. I thought I'd show you just for a second some of the drums up close on this thing. The snare drum, as I mentioned, is a round badge Schlingerland. There's the original badge. You can see that. There it is. Anyway, I had it refinished to match the Sonor kit, and the furniture shop that did it did a nice job of getting the color the same. It's a single piece of mahogany, and I had to use different hardware because this is from the 40s, I think. And the original hardware basically crumbled in my hands when I took it off. And so I got the newer 60s, 70s style lug, as you can see, and copper plated everything. The set has pretty much Tama hardware all the way around because I really like Tama. The only exception is the bass drum pedal, which is that Mapex, and it's got the Janus symbol on there. And it had single braced, and I like double braced, so I took apart a Tama stand and put the double brace on it so it would match the rest of the hardware. And that's kind of nice because I'm the only guy with a double braced Mapex Aquarian, or excuse me, Janus stand. Now this, as you know, flips over to the left for the hi-hat and then moves to the right and becomes a double bass drum pedal. See down there? I've got the DW 9000 for the pedal, and it works works out nicely. So you can switch back and forth pretty easily. And of course, it's got the standard release. You can do the double bass and keep the hi-hat closed. All right, so the other thing that's kind of interesting is this. This is my $22 snare drum. Yeah, I got it on the internet for 22 bucks. And I thought, what does a $22 snare sound like? So I did a little work on it, and actually, really doesn't sound too bad for, you know, $22. Anyway, let's go out and look at the North kit now. And this is in my messy garage. Now, I built this drum studio in my house. It's got double doors and hollow walls and floating floor and floating ceiling, so the neighbors don't get upset when I play drums. Unfortunately, the drum studio is not big enough for both drum sets, so the neighbors do have to listen to the North kit a little bit when I play in the garage. So let's get this set up here and give you the tone and the sound of the North kit, which is what people were asking for on the internet when I posted this thing. All right, so once again, you'll notice that I have the drums tuned to individual notes. Now, the bass drums on this set I like a lot. They've got a good dead 70 sound, but they're pretty powerful. So I kind of like the way they sound. The snare drum is a pearl snare drum, and again, without the ring on it, you've got a little bit more ringy sound. You put the little Aquarium Studio ring on there, you get a little bit deader, which kind of matches the North side. Naturally dead, but when you put the controlled sound batter heads on, as I did, clear with the black dot, it looks kind of cool. It looks like the 70s. Is it the best sound? Maybe not. If you had a different kind of head, maybe thinner, you might get a little more ring, but overall they still sound pretty 70 North-ish, and I kind of like it. And then of course, more cowbell, of course. So here's what they sound like if you put them all together. And again, I've got the Slingerland Yellow Jacket pedals I reconditioned, and the New Beat hi-hats on original North hardware. I'll show you that. Most of the hardware on this is North, other than some of the tom holders I mounted on the bass drum, because the big rack was a pain to carry around, and it was all dented. That's kind of how it sounds. Now let's do something kind of fun. Let's do 7/4, because I like 7/4. drums, basically if you flail around, you're bound to hit something. Anyway, hope you found this instructive. Let me, before I go, show you just a couple more things on the set. You've got, on the pillows, I put some sticky dashboard holder things. It's, I think, designed to hold your cell phone on your dashboard, but I put it on there and it kind of sticks to the bass drum a little bit. Helps the pillow not to slide out. Some of these drums are made in Italy and some are not. The Italy drums, which were later in the North drum manufacturing process, were made of plastic. You can see kind of a, I don't know, polyurethane or something, some sort of plastic, whereas the original ones were fiberglass. And you can see on the bearing edge, the fiberglass. Now these bearing edges are not that consistent, so the sound of the fiberglass drums, I find doesn't sound quite as good. There you can see a total difference there. 6-inch, another 6-inch. And the fiberglass not being as even, I don't think has quite as good a tone. I suppose if you took them all apart, you could, there's the 12s, you could, I suppose, make them smoother or fix them up or round them or something. But anyway, there's the Yellow Jacket pedals that I reconditioned, painted them, took them completely apart. And they're really good pedals. They actually work quite well. Then, of course, the North hi-hat stand and the North tom stands and so on. And that's kind of nice. I've got a couple extra North stands. Somebody said, why don't I add more cymbals? And the reason I don't add more cymbals is because I don't really have room for them. I'm not sure where I'd put them. And this actually works pretty well. So anyway, that's my video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have questions, you can email me or text me or something. But it's a lot of fun. I've always wanted a kit like this and I finally have it. I'm pretty lucky.